Hello, thanks for joining me today. I'm going to work on some tags that I've been meaning to work on for quite a while. It's not related to any project that I have ongoing, but I have been saving this tin look wallpaper for over 20 years to do a project with. And I saw something on Pinterest that made me think, oh yes, I have to do this. So I've already ripped myself off a little strip of it, and I've got some corrugated cardboard where you can see the corrugations on the one side. It's smooth on the other side. So that's going to be the base for the tag. I'm going to put some other cardstock with it to stiffen it up a little bit more. So I'm just going to start by... It's not going to go in there, but I can still cut on top of this. I'm just going to cut a strip of this off. Let's start by trying to get us a fairly straight piece. That's probably not the proper way to do this. I just need to get it cut down. I didn't do any prep or pre-planning. I just got home before hubby and thought, oh, I've got time maybe before he gets home to do something. So that's what I'm doing. I put my little sign on the door so when he comes home he'll know I'm filming. Hopefully that'll work. Really rough. But now I can get it in here, you see. Okay, so let's just do this side down. That looks like a factory edge, so we'll go on this side. I want this, I think I want it fairly square. Tricky stuff to cut. Never thought about the 2 layers. I just saw these 2 things layered together. It just made my heart palpitate when I saw it, so I thought I would just try it. So I'm going to cut. Sorry, folks. Thinking. Just want to glue this a bit. Quite a bit. I think I'll use my tacky glue instead of the glue stick. And that's kind of just half of the sheet, a little over half, but I'm gonna make sure I get it right to the edges. A bigger bead to spread to the edge. I keep stacks of paper off to the side to glue up against. I like the look of my wood grain background better than my grid work cutting board background. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know what you think. Should I work on the grid board so that it looks more like a crafter, or should I do it on the wood grain that looks pretty? There's some things you need the cutting board for, but most of the time you don't. I'm going to go this way because that was my original thought. I think normally I would want to let this sit overnight. hardened up, but might only end up getting 2 out of this. Maybe isn't going as straight as it could be. I'm not sure that matters either. And I should have probably taken another look at my inspiration pick, but this way I know I'm not copying them directly. I'll do my own thing. I don't really like copying other people, but I like getting inspiration from other people. So the idea was that it was like a layered tag. With the cardboard and the fancy wallpaper. I think that the picture was the same wallpaper, or the same kind of wallpaper anyway. It was really popular like over 20 years ago, and there was a few different styles of it out there. I'm gonna just rough cut this and then really rough, eh, Jude? I think hers was like torn even, but this one a little wider. Make one sort of like a journaling card and one like a tag. Okay. And then the wallpaper, I cut one piece already, but I think I want it to take up more space. I just want to see the cardboard kind of around it. And then just tear this so I don't use this one. Cut that underneath part off. And then I want to rip all these edges. I think it's supposed to look like salvaged, or like it was uncovered from somewhere in an old house or something. So something like that, but I want the edges really distressed on the, I'll do this just on a scrap piece first. That's the walnut stain. This stuff is paintable, so it's kind of a little porous maybe. That's not really looking how I want it to, I don't think. A little brush. I also want to do some of that, but not everywhere. I just don't know if this, yeah, that might be enough. I think the picture I saw was a lot more distressed, but I just want, I think it needs to be dark. That's the vintage photo, and this is the walnut stain. So Maybe I distress with the vintage photo to accentuate the raised spots, and then distress the edges with the walnut stain right out of the pad, because that gives you a darker look. So I'll take the brush with the vintage photo, so it's subtle, and just gently go over the raised parts. Leave the background fairly white. I just want the raised parts to be where they've like collected dirt, grime over the years, make them look old in that way. It's subtle. And my inks are getting dried out. I've got to get some new refills. I'd like to get the large size ink pads. I think I mentioned that before. So if anyone's watching that needs to get me a birthday present, it's coming up. I think we're going to have a birthday giveaway. So stay tuned for that. So that's the antiqued and that's the pristine. Just a very nice subtle distressing. And then the walnut stain around the edges will be more, give it more definition. I know a lot of the YouTubers that are showing these Tim Holtz distress ink, they're showing a new one called Black Soot, which looks pretty neat too. For really defining the edges. A little grungy, vintage look that I love, but sometimes it's hard to do. Sometimes it's hard to bring yourself to really do it. That was for this one, wasn't it? Yeah. And then for this one, a little wider. So I think I could leave like a bottom corner square and have it ripped. Let's try that. Try going across and then down. And then like that. I'll try to be kind of random and leave those bottom edges square. And obviously you can see that it's wallpaper by the way it's curling on me. I'm going to do this the same way. I like the effect that I got with that. You could also do this with pretty colors, like a soft pink, soft blue, pretty soft green. Because it is paintable, you could just do just about anything with this wallpaper. Stain it, paint it. You could paint it a pretty green and then do this to it. That would be nice too. I might do some of that. I'll have to keep looking for this kind of wallpaper at thrift stores and so on. You don't see it in the stores too often. Mind you, I don't go into wallpaper stores, but I could hit them up for some books. I used to make all sorts of things out of wallpaper sample books. In the 90s, I had worked right next door to a Color Your World wallpaper store, and they saved all their discontinued ones for me to go through. And I made band boxes and all sorts of crafts. Mostly the boxes decorated with wallpaper. meeting with a couple of my niece-in-laws, I guess you would call them. About a design project for their house. That was fun. Showing them some of my crafts. Wanted to get her take on them because I've got some plan to do gift giving with my books this Christmas, and I wanted to find out if they would think that was a neat gift or not. I didn't ask them outright, just wanted to get their opinion, opinion on a couple of the projects I've been doing. They seem to like them, so I think it's a green light to include a little junk journal with their Christmas gifts. They always get jewelry every year. They'll still get jewelry, don't worry, girls. But we can do junk journals now too, so that'll be fun. So I think I could just wet this and glue it down, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use the tacky glue. I'm really going to have to weight these because of the curling, I think. This should hold fairly well to the raw cardboard. I just want to make sure I get my edges really well. I always try to not use too much, but I think I'm not using enough now. There's no magic answer to how much glue do you need. Depends on the glue, the humidity, the substrate. It feels like it's going to stay down pretty easily. And I think I'm going to try to round these corners. I don't know how it'll work with the corrugated cardboard. I'm going to use the biggest one. Might be something where I need to almost squeeze it a little bit before I stick it in there. See, that didn't really work. Try it again. There we go. It's a narrow slot, so you kind of have to squish it down, but mostly what you're squishing is getting torn off anyway. So there's that. Now let's do this one. Glue this one down. Yeah, I didn't have that. I turned it over for just a minute. The idea is you're supposed to put it upside down in the cap so that the glue's always there when you're ready. Old habits. It's time to clean that cap out a bit. I'm just thrilled to have a few minutes to do this today. I got home and hubby wasn't home. I thought, oh good, I'll put up my sign and do a video. It's not just about getting a video done, but having a chance to do some crafting. It's a beautiful day out, but I really feel like I want to do this, so this is what I'm doing. And then I thought it might be cool to layer some of my new fabrics and maybe some lace and a couple flowers on top. So I think maybe this kind of ecru colored lace would be the thing, so that it's different again. And I cut myself up a bunch of snippets of it. I don't really want to cover this up too much. Maybe I'll put just a band of this. Or up the side here where it's already a square edge. There's one that's a nice, like, bottom corner. I'm always worried about covering up the thing that I want to be showing. And then when you see successful craft projects, they cover all kinds of things up. So I'm going to do a square bottom edge. Maybe. And an angled top edge to kind of go along with this angle. And then over here, I think it needs to be small-ish. I can use the same lace. And I don't want to cover up I am going to cover that. Just create a bit of a straight line there. Still got some texture on it though. And then for my flowers, I do have some actual dried hydrangeas that are beige tone. And then I've got some of these kind of very fine, almost like a wicker flower. I don't know if that's the right coloring. It's not bad. I've got some eucalyptus leaves. I don't know about that. That wouldn't look good with that, but that's maybe too big of a leaf. There's a little orangey one. It's weird, I'm kind of gravitating to fall colors when it's spring. Spring's just springing. Maybe I'll do one brown one and one pretty one. There's one that's kind of, it's one of those wood flowers, and it's got orange and yellow. That's a little more sunny. Back it up with, I know there was a lime green flower in here that I thought was too big. There's a yellow one. There it is. But maybe it would be good as a backer behind something like this to give it a fresh look. Even kind of offset. I wish I could hear what you're yelling at me through the screen. Or the other thing I could do is go more soft and pretty. I think I'll do that as soon as I saw it. And that could maybe handle a eucalyptus leaf. Do I want to do that one, or do I want to do something more pretty? Pretty. There's a turquoise version. I think I want to go earthy on one of them. So that's what we're going to do. They're both kind of earthy. This one's a little more earthy. So we'll start by gluing this down. This I will do. If I make more of these, I will do them in stages and glue that. Let that sit under heavy weights overnight. But for these, I'll call them the prototypes. I'll just go for it. Maybe what I'll do is I won't glue the flower on. I'll leave it off so that I can put these under weights this afternoon and either glue them back on and finish the video or not. I'll show you what I'm gonna do, and then if it changes, I'll post it at the end of the video. So what I'm thinking is this and this. And again, the leaf is following that line. And then these are going to be tricky to glue on. I'll have to take them off and glue each one on. But I was thinking of doing that sort of, maybe even coming out this way. No, I think they need to be against the white. So maybe just down in this direction, have a few of these. Not 3D, but laying down flat. And my friend Danielle gave me those hydrangeas. And then this one, it's very similar. Oh, and I was going to cut this one to a tag shape. This one has angles on both ends, which is fine. And then my eucalyptus leaf. And my daisy will cover the top edge of that one anyway. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut my tag shape. Something like this. And then I think I'm going to do like a slot. I don't have a slot punch, so I'm going to do 3 holes, and then I'll tidy it up with the X-Acto knife and find a nice, actually I've got a small piece of this that if I made it wide enough, that could be my tag topper. Just put that through and staple it and glue it. Maybe a little piece of blue ribbon around it or something. That's intense. Very hard to cut through. There's also some that has white lace, but I think I'm going to keep it like this. And it's going to mean that I even still have a piece left because I don't need that, all of that. But I wanted this tassel. It's just naturally frayed. And I think it could just glue, but I think I'm going to put a staple, and then I'll just have to find something to cover the staple. Maybe a little, couple times around with some pale blue ribbon. Let me just grab my stapler. And I'll put the smooth edge of the staple on the back. I see a lot of crafters stapling from the front and leaving the raw edge back here, but then I find anytime I've got a staple like that, I always catch my finger on it. And so I prefer to put my staple on this way so that the good side of the staple is at the back. And there's always a way to hide it on the front. Now that didn't go all the way through everything. So it's something where you might need glue and staple. I'm going to do the glue first, I think. A fair bit of it. Actually, maybe I'll try letting that just dry with a clamp on it. The staple might not even be necessary. It might be not good in the long run, but if I have to, I can put a few stitches in here with a thread that'll blend in. But also, if I do wrap the ribbon around and glue it too, that would solve an issue. See, I don't think I have any blue. I've got some lacy stuff though. That might do. Yeah, that'll do, because that'll give it that refined look with the rustic look. That's kind of what I like about this, is that juxtaposition. The other thing that I could do is just a thin strip of like a torn fabric around there. More of an ivory, I think, it need to be. Oh, there's just some yarn. Let's see how that looks. Just like that. See, that would cover the staple if I did a staple. And then I could tie it in the front. I could tie it in the back and it would just look tidy, but if you tie it in the front, it looks even more shabby, which I kind of like. I like shabby, but I find it sometimes hard to do shabby. I always want to make it neater. I tend to want to make it neater, but I do like shabby, so I try to force myself to leave it shabby. Nice knot. And I think that's what I want to do. And then that'll have the leaf and the flower. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put it on. I don't want the whole thing glued right down. I want to do it so that the leaf's edges are still up. Because if I put this in a pocket, it's probably going to be into a pocket to about here with this much sticking up. In fact, that's just how I'll do it. I'll plan it that way. Plan a pocket specifically for it in a book. And again, I'm just going to get a couple of the leaves, the petals down, but it is a 3D flower, so the top ones, of course, are going to be loose. Yes, I like that. Very pretty. And then I can round the bottom edges of the tag. Just rounding the edges helps it go in and out of a pocket easier. Corners don't get caught. And I think I'll take my walnut and go around the outside edges, avoiding the flower. Got into some glue there. This is really just doing the edge. It shows up better down here. And this one's more of a journaling card. I didn't glue that stuff down yet, did I? So I'm gonna put the leaf on. I gotta really watch at yard sales this summer for silk flowers with interesting leaves. I just want the leaves in most cases, depending on what the flowers are. I can also use silk flowers that are kind of sad looking and put gold paint on the edges and pearls in the center and use the leaves, and I can even color them to make them more like this. And I don't know how well these are going to glue down. I'll try. So I'll put this first. Let's see if this has a back and a front. I think this was off of like a purse or something. Purse or a belt. When I'm thrift shopping and yard sale shopping, I'm always looking for something that I can take apart and use the pieces. So don't forget, when you're looking for craft supplies, you don't always have to buy ready-made off-the-shelf Michaels stuff. This is quite an interesting flower, and it's completely upcycled, probably from some piece that someone bought on vacation somewhere. Find a lot of notebooks with handmade paper that are from like Mexico or Guatemala or somewhere that someone's been like that. And I take them apart and use the pieces. So I'm going to try this. I don't know if these will end up staying on here, but we're going to try it. They're pretty delicate. So I don't know if they will just crumble after a while. Probably something I should be using my tweezers for, but I haven't really trained myself at the art of using tweezers. Guess I could try it. Probably find I like it. Try it, you'll like it. Yeah, that's gonna kind of crush. It might not last very well. Might be something I've got to look out for in silk. Or get them before they get brittle and coat them with clear or white glue to just sort of protect them a little bit and plasticize them a little bit without making them too shiny. Yeah, that looks good. Coming off on my fingers. So that's my little project that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, and I'm really kind of happy with how it's turned out. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite, if you like the all natural or the little spot of pretty color with it. And what do you think of the overall vibe? Is it your thing? Do you not really care for it? Too rustic? For some people it will be. And that's okay. If you like something a little more refined, I do have a video where I made a tag out of the upholstery fabric samples, and I called it Dark and Dramatic. It was really pretty, but a lot more refined than these. So I'm very happy with that. It kind of goes with what I had in my head for it. Yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have a friend who would also enjoy it, please share with them. Give me a comment. Let me know which one was your favorite or what you would have done different with them. And if you like to see easy, quick craft videos like this, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified whenever a new video comes up, which right now will be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw this one up as a weekend video because I mentioned my birthday, which is coming up, so I don't want to leave this until like June to post. I do plan to do a giveaway for my birthday, which is towards the end of May. And so watch and you'll maybe hear about it further in the next few videos. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.